morning, YouTube. How are you? Of course, by the time this loads, it may not still be morning. I'm on my way to class. It's 7:35-ish in the morning on June 2nd, 2015. It's a Tuesday morning. It's beautiful outside, can't you tell? There's rain and fog, and it just is a miserable looking day, but still gotta go to class, so it really doesn't matter, huh? Okay, let's get to the stats real quick. My highest recorded weight was 322.8. My surgery date was 322.4. Highest was 314.8. Today's weight was, I weighed this morning, and it was 255.8. 255.8, which would give me a 56.6 pound loss, I believe. 66.6. Oh wow, gotta get rid of that number, don't we? So anyway, I don't really know a whole lot to tell you today. There's a lot going on. My class, of course, which seems to always be happening, and our clinical this semester for the next 3 weeks is it's interesting, but it's a little frightening, but it really is quite interesting. We're doing a psych rotation, so we're spending time in the local psych unit. It was pretty interesting to learn about mental illness and the different kinds of illness and different presentations, and how when you see somebody showing symptoms what you thought was mental illness, the biggest thing I've learned so far is that most of the signs and symptoms that I see in people with mental illness, and I don't mean just like a depression, I mean like real hardcore schizophrenia and stuff like that, stuff that's really, and I'm not saying that depression's not really serious, because I dated a guy that had severe depression and he killed himself, and I'm not saying that's not serious, because it is very serious, but I'm talking about mental illness that you really see on the outside. Like you would think, like you see somebody that has schizophrenia and they're pacing constantly, or they're shuffling their feet, or they're drooling, or different other little things that you think are part of their mental illness are actually part of their medication side effects for their mental illness, which I did not realize was true. I didn't realize that what you see in a lot of these symptoms aren't actual symptoms of the mental illness, but are side effects of the medications. So I just didn't realize, and like I said, I'm not talking about, I'm talking about like hardcore antipsychotic medications. It's amazing what we learn, and how we had a paper we had to do that we had to interview 5 people, and thank you to those 5 people for contributing. We had to interview 5 people, and we had to put, like, were they a friend, were they a banker, were they, not actual names, so there's no names involved, but it was more of, what do you think about mental illness? And it's amazing to me the answers I got. Some people got some answers that I kind of expected, even though it kind of shocked the girl that got those answers. But most of my answers were pretty right on. Mental illness is an illness. It's not a choice. It's not real. It's real. It's real stuff. Can be physiological causes. It's not just all in your head, which a lot of people seem to think that mental illness, it's just in your head. Well, yeah, it's in your head, but it's not just in your head, like meaning it's not real, like it doesn't cause real problems. It does. And I mean, I've always known that, but I just have gotten such a newfound respect for people that suffer from these illnesses. So anyway, one of the people, and I'm not going to say who that was either, because it's up to her to say if she wants to. Not that any of you would probably even maybe know her, but one of the people said that they thought that obesity could be from a mental illness, and I do agree. I had to go to an AA meeting, and that was part of my community experience. You could interview an officer, go to an Al-Anon meeting, an AA meeting. You could go to a lot of different things you could pick and choose from, and I chose to go to an AA meeting. And these people were absolutely wonderful people, first of all. They were so welcoming and so nice, and a couple of them knew why I was there, and a couple of them didn't. They knew I was a visitor, but they didn't know why. And I didn't really have a lot of interaction with most of them. It was more just an observation, and to hear this speaker share their story was amazing. And while overeating and being addicted to food is not the same as being addicted to alcohol or drugs. Yes, being addicted to food and overeating can kill you, but it doesn't usually land you in jail. It may not kill you as fast. It's, you know what I mean? They're different, but in some ways they're the same. Because when this speaker was talking about what was waiting for them if they made this wrong choice, if they went back to drinking alcohol or taking a drug or whatever their, everybody there had different, some were just allergic, addicted to alcohol, some were addicted to alcohol and pills, some, there was a lot of variety there, but it's that same feeling that I feel right now with food. I can't. It's like that old Lay's potato chip commercial. You can't have just one. Well, I don't like those particular potato chips, so I don't want just one. I don't want any. But the saying is true. My food of choice was McDonald's. That was my fast food of choice. In one of my previous videos, I talk about that, where I actually, in a video, discovered why that is. And I have this fear that if I were to eat anything from there, that it would start my spiral of wanting to eat there all the time. Now, very little that they would have on their menu should I eat. My nutritionist had said that before I saw my surgeon's nutritionist, she said if your family's going to McDonald's and you go and you stop and you get something to eat, get just a piece of chicken, just a grilled piece of chicken. Nothing else, no bun, no nothing else, just a grilled piece of chicken. Well, while that sounds simply delicious and sounds simple enough and easy enough to just go and get that grilled piece of chicken, am I going to be able to, that time, yes, but am I going to be able to then say, okay, I've had a taste of McDonald's grilled chicken. Well, maybe a chicken nugget wouldn't hurt, or a french fry or two wouldn't hurt, or, I don't want to get into that slippery slope of eating fast food, because I haven't. I've done it without it since before surgery. I don't need it. I don't crave it. So why why go and eat a piece of it just to bring that all back? And in that way, it feels like food was an addiction for me. Granted, not the same as being addicted to drugs or addicted to alcohol, or where that's not even the same as being addicted to gambling, or it's an addiction. And I felt like that was my story to a different degree and extent. So I do believe that being obese can play along with a mental illness. Depression. You're depressed, you eat. Some people depressed and they don't eat, but some, they feed their depression, and it goes along with it. So it can be, and I don't know, I felt, while again different, the same. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on addiction and mental illness and obesity. And since surgery, I do have a different outlook on food. Food doesn't hold the same control over me that it used to. And back to that restaurant, that my last video, not that I'm going to talk about the whole thing again, but when I looked at the menu, there was a turkey club, and I thought, well, I can get it on wheat bread and just eat one piece of the bread and like half of it, or but then I noticed that it came with French fries, and because the last time I'd asked for something to be left off my plate, it didn't happen. So I purposely didn't choose anything that came with French fries or potato chips or the things that I would have been tempted with. I specifically did not choose something that came with something that I didn't want to eat. So I'm getting to the point really where I just want to take my food everywhere I go. That way I don't have to, but I don't want that to become a thing. I don't want that to become I don't know. I don't want it almost like a compulsive thing where where my addiction to food is then replaced by my addiction to bring my food. But at the same time, I want healthy choices, and not everywhere you go offers healthy choices. Or if they do offer something that you could have, they don't fix it the way you want, or they don't leave something off your plate that you don't want to be tempted with. And I shouldn't have to say, I've had weight loss surgery, don't bring me French fries. I shouldn't have to explain myself. I should just say, look, I'm not asking for a discount for you to not bring me fries. I'm just saying, don't bring me fries. Don't put fries in front of me on my plate. I'm not asking for you to take money off because you don't bring them. I'm just asking you not to bring them. How hard is that? I shouldn't have to explain why. I should just be able to do that. And if I can't do that, I want my own food, because I know what's in it. I've made it. I know if it's something that I can or cannot have. And I don't mean can or cannot have like my stomach won't tolerate it. I mean can or cannot have, or that my surgeon has said, oh, you can't eat this or you can't eat that. I mean can or cannot have that I choose to have or not have. I choose to not eat. I don't have ice cream. My family still does. We've got ice cream in our freezer. I haven't had ice cream. When they have ice cream, I have my no sugar added fudgesicles, which are delicious, by the way. I love them. They're just like eating ice cream to me. So if I have a craving for ice cream, that's what I have. Or frozen strawberries. I buy the big bag of frozen strawberries. Once in a while, my fiance will buy me fresh strawberries. I cut the tops off and stick them in the freezer. And there's a different flavor to them than the frozen strawberries you buy at the store, but they're frozen and they're sweet, and it's like eating ice cream. And if I really wanted to and it wasn't so loud, I'd crunch them up in my food processor thing and could actually feel like I was eating ice cream. So, speaking of eating, now that I've talked for a few minutes, the half of the turkey sausage that I've eaten so far this morning has settled enough where I feel like I can eat the other half. So, anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Leave your comments below. What do you think about mental illness? What do you think about obesity being a part of it? Or for some people, not everybody, but in different ways and different degrees, just like any mental illness or any other illness, it affects people differently. So it's all different. All right, I love you guys. See you soon. Bye.